there's a bunch of cool tools when it comes to RFID and NFC, and one of the best tools that you can get into just basic RFID education is the Proxmark3 Easy. It's cheap, it's affordable, and it does the job better than some of the more expensive devices. But there's also an upgraded model called the RDV4.01 and the RDV4. The 01 and the O are all depends on the tuning on the back of the antenna. Don't even worry about it. There's also a Blue Shark add-on that is not really that important because you want to use a wired interface, and the Bluetooth that they're using is a very old generation of Bluetooth. I believe it's BLE3 or Bluetooth 3, which is very old. You don't even want to dabble with it because now we have a pretty cool development, and I'm kind of excited about it. We now have the Proxmark5. Now the Proxmark5 is a huge upgrade from the RDV4.01, and we're going to go into the specs in a second, but man, they've outdone themselves. Ultra high frequency, low frequency, high frequency, basically everything that you could possibly need, as well as Flipper Zero integration. Why that is, I think that's cute. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against it. It is nice to see that there's UHF being integrated into the Flipper Zero, but you can actually attach a whole Proxmark so you get the entire RFID spectrum that you could possibly want. That's pretty cool. They've also added extra bands, so you now have more capabilities than you would on a Flipper Zero or a Proxmark of any kind, and that is monumental because that takes the RFID toolkit that we know and love and gives it a massive upgrade, not only just from the FPGA side, but as well as firmware. And there's a lot of tools that have come out, like the iCopy XS, which just recently got an upgrade. That is kind of disappointing. As a matter of fact, this tool is kind of built on the RDV4, but it's made for people who really have no idea on what they're doing and just want a cheap and easy, just go-to solution. Quick access, get yourself out the way, clone card, erase card, done. And even then, sometimes it doesn't work. That's not saying it's not a bad tool, but there are way better tools with way more capabilities if you take the time and actually learn how they work. So we got the Indiegogo page live right here. I'll actually link this and everything else down below in the description. They met their goal. Their goal was 50K. They met that in 6 minutes and 39 seconds. They made sure to let everybody know that. That is a monumental accomplishment. And they have 1,911 backers. That's just solid community right there. I'm backer number 870. Fantastic. There's 16 days left from the time of this video. That would make it 15 days because this is going to post tomorrow. And yeah, this is the entire thing. Let's go down everything. This is what it's going to look like. I know this is an AI render, but they actually have a picture of a working model that looks exactly like this. So they're boasting community-driven, advanced research designed for endless possibilities. And you can tell they had 1,743 backers, 600K raised in 12 days. We have gone up by 54. That's pretty good. So we got low frequency, high frequency, NFC, and ultra high frequency. So that's that's the entire NFC spectrum right there. They had the post-DEFCON. I already got that one. They had the early bird. This is the pre-DEFCON. I believe this was how many people? This was I want to say 101 people. That's nice. This is the pre-DEFCON as well, 100 people. They have their stretch goals. Now, I do gotta say, I want it in black, but if they do have a transparent casing, this is going to look fantastic. So I really do hope that they meet their stretch goal. They're about halfway there for the transparent case and a little bit over halfway there for the transparent antenna. Matter of fact, I take that back. I would love it in black and transparent. That would be fantastic. So they met their 300,000 goal, which was a keychain. I want to say that that's an RFID keychain. I'm not exactly sure, but they do have their transparent PCB name card. This is fantastic. I believe it is an NTAG. Yes, it is an NTAG chip. So that is really nice. Now there's a few add-ons that I do want to mention. See this Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and battery add-on? It's powered by an ESP32C2. Now I only personally own one C2, and I can't tell you if I've done more than like 3 projects with it because it's just not, there's way more capable microcontrollers. But all they needed to do is connect and give out a beacon and we're good to go. That's all they need. So that's super low power. And it's a battery add-on. Count me in. The other add-on that they have is the Chameleon Ultra V1. That's actually a pretty good price for an authentic Chameleon Ultra. And they have their RF detector. I have a bunch of RF detectors, so I stuck with the battery, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth add-on board, which is so much better than the Blue Shark module. I can't tell you how much the Blue Shark module disappointed me. Now over here it tells us the next evolution of Proxmark5 Research, the most advanced RFID research tool ever created, now with Flipper Zero integration. Now I am just excited for this, but the fact that they added Flipper Zero integration with it is very noteworthy because it gives the Flipper Zero a lot more meaning. The Flipper Zero in particular, when it comes to like the most used features, is NFC and RFID. So giving it ultra high frequency and a complete band of RFID is awesome. Chip selection is the AT32F435. So that is a much worthy upgrade, 1 megabyte of flash memory and 512 kilobytes of SRAM. So man, it's going to be a lot better than what we have on the RDV4. Over here we have the interface provision, so I2C, UART, SWD, MCU reset. It's telling us that that's all from the connected headers. That's fantastic. 2.4 millimeter headers. I'm guessing those are the ones that are connected to the actual board and the battery pack. So the dedicated for Wi-Fi, we have the BTB integrated interface, so it's dedicated for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth battery management. Man, they have really put some thought into this, and I thought that we were going to be with the RDV4 for at least like 2 more years. This is noteworthy, and they're using a Thunderbolt 4 cable. They have their Flipper Zero connector right there. I'm guessing there will be a custom FAP for this as well. This is incredibly exciting. Oh, over here. We got a nice look of what the actual add-on will look like inside the Proxmark5 itself. So it says open source ESP32C2 firmware, allowing the open source community to develop updates and implement more interesting functions. This is fantastic. Flipper Zero and Proxmark5 better together. Man, they're really going for the Flipper Zero combination here. I would argue that the Proxmark is an independent entity than the Flipper Zero, but putting them both together, I feel like that opens a lot more possibilities. Because typically when it comes to a Proxmark in particular, I want to use it with a CyberDeck, specifically. Like, there are people that use it, on their phone. I'm not one of those people. But, this giving you Flipper Zero integration, think about it, most people of a Proxmark already have a Flipper Zero. Pairing them both together is just a no-brainer. 5 low-frequency frequencies, no more limits. So 125 kilohertz, 134 kilohertz, 250 kilohertz, 375, and 500 kilohertz. So adjustable card reading voltage, smarter, cleaner reads. I don't know if you guys know this, but when it comes to the RDV 4.01, that thing is incredibly powerful. So now we're getting more integrated, cards, more frequencies than we had before, as well as I'm hoping for the same power, because from what I can see, they're really going all out. Fully open source, FPGA, transparent or design transparency. The FPGA code is completely open source and comes with a freely available toolchain, no proprietary software locks. You have full access to modify, improve, and customize the hardware logic. Community-powered development by leveraging established open-source project. You benefit for years of community contributions, extensive documentation, and active developer support. Oh, here we have a picture of the actual, how the entire thing is going to look like. We have, low-frequency antenna, high-frequency antenna, and the external connector right here on the top. This is simply fantastic. We have our client port and our Type-C extend port. Antenna shell, well, when it comes to the RDV4 in particular, I like to read my cards with the shell because the antenna is actually that powerful. If you have a NFC field detector, you can see it with a field visualizer by Midwedge Gadgets, for example. You got the main shell, sticker, button, 4 status LEDs, that's fine. And here we have our comparison sheet. So with the RDV4, which is what I've been trying to compare it to because this is a really nice upgrade, we can now relay and perform man-in-the-middle attacks. That's fantastic. We also now have 250 to 500 kilohertz, which is something we did not have on the Proxmark3 RDV4. Now, ultra-high frequency is typically done with its own module, like a Flippermeister, for example, but now we have an extension module. I haven't seen what that would look like, but I know it's coming, and that is a nice thing to look forward to. The last thing we're going to look down is all of the tags that are supported. And man, they really document everything. I'm really excited to see what this project comes out with, because they have truly outdone themselves with just thinking everything through. Oh, SAM module, contact card analysis module. Dive deeper into smart card security. Dude, they do have SAM integration. All right, man, they've really done oh my God, they've thought everything out. So coming to phase 2, I actually did not see this part. This is an August to December 2026 ultra high frequency add-on module. That's sweet. Medium-sized LF and HF antenna, also sweet, and a large 14443A antenna laptop bag form factor. That is an insanely large antenna. Oh my God, I actually can't wait. This just might be the best RFID tool to ever come out. So it goes without saying that the last 3 weeks have been kind of exciting, and I cannot wait to see what else we have in store for 2026. The Proxmark5, however, will be coming out, I want to say post-DEF CON. That's what it says, it's post-DEF CON. So we know there's a pre-DEF CON, and if there's a pre-DEF CON, I don't think that the wait is going to be all that much, and I cannot wait to actually play around with one, you know, for the first time. I'm like that much excited. I love my Proxmark3 RDV4, and if you have an RDV4 and you don't really need ultra high frequency or that just little bit extra that you could possibly have, then it's not that important. But when it comes to field researchers and people who are really, really passionate about NFC, RFID, and ultra high frequency now, this is a must-have tool, and this will outdo every other RFID tool that we know and love, and it's Flipper Zero integrated, keeping the Flipper Zero community and ecosystem alive and well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I thank you so much for the love and support. Honestly, it's been a very hectic, I want to say 3 weeks, but I'm getting back on schedule. You guys are amazing, and don't forget to check out the many awesome channels within the Blackwire Media down below. Awesome members of the community who go over such amazing stuff all the time, every single day, like myself in the YouTube Shorts, which if you aren't subscribed, subscribe, because we go over different types, all this stuff all the time, my guy. Love your face.